Why is it so special that you're doing a guest ad?
Because my mommy was a guest model too.
Now I get to know what it felt like.
Lynn Burkhead, daughter of the late Anna Nicole Smith, drops a shocking confession about her life 10 years later. What's behind it? Lynn opens up about growing up under her mother's legacy. What has she been keeping hidden all this time? Lynn's story reveals her journey through the media chaos, the paternity scandal, and her strong bond with her father. What's next? Let's get into it. Lynn's life today. Though her family is well known, Lynn Burkhead is a rather typical 10-year-old. Having a mother like Anna Nicole Smith, a major celebrity and frequently in the news, would have raised great expectations for Lynn. Actually, though, she is exactly like any other child her age. Like other youngsters nowadays, she is bashful, prefers spending time with her dad, Larry Burkhead, and even loves using Snapchat. She is simply a normal child who enjoys doing what other 10-year-olds do. She is not about glitter and glamour. Her early years, however, have been anything from normal. Lynn's life became a media frenzy from the time of birth. Her mother's terrible death, the paternity dispute, and years of public scrutiny meant she missed the opportunity to grow up like other children. Her dad has, however, done all in his could to protect her from the limelight and give her as regular a life as possible. Always putting his daughter first, Larry Burkhead battled to prove he was Lynn's father when Anna Nicole Smith died from a heroin overdose. Larry was resolved not to let her grow up under the same media circus that surrounded Anna Nicole. Larry made sure Lynn would have a quiet and private life, even if the public yearned to know every minute of her existence. Clearly, he loves her. He has been her rock and guardian. Their relationship is unique. They like it just the two of them against the world. Though it is a trait of Lynn, shyness does not stop her from appreciating life. She appreciates the little pleasures of growing up even though she is not into the media or limelight. She feels strongly about herself, most of which results from the way Larry has raised her. She is free to have fun, be herself, and savor her youth free from public view concerns. Larry obviously has worked hard to provide her that. Lynn also feels normal in part because of her close bond with her cousin. They play and simply be young people together. She needs someone her age to relate to, someone who knows the special position she is in. Having a cousin she can relate to and confide in helps keep things light and familiar for Lynn, even if her life has been in public notice. She depends on it greatly, and it is a necessary component of her existence. Lynn is still rather much in touch with the surroundings, even if she could be bashful. She uses Snapchat, one of the ways she stays current with her pals and the fashion. Most children's life these days revolve around social media, hence, Lynn is not unique. Though she's not aiming for the same degree of attention that her mother received on social media, she enjoys sharing events with her friends and maintaining connection via the app. Like it does for so many other youngsters her age, Snapchat allows her to express herself in a way that seems personal and exciting. Larry has always made sure Lynn lives free from the weight of celebrity hovering over her. Larry keeps a close eye on how much of Lynn's life is public even today. He has worked hard to keep her away from the continual media attention Anna Nicole lived with. Lynn is more about shielding her from the kind of attention that can affect her mental and emotional well-being than she is hidden away or kept in the shadows. Growing up, she received enough media coverage. Larry wants her to be free to grow without it. Having Anna Nicole Smith as a mother would have presented difficulties even in childhood. From her ascent to glory to her untimely demise, Anna Nicole's life was a roller coaster. Lynn had to grow up in the wake of that, constantly under observation and subject of conjecture about her existence. The media coverage focused not just on Anna Nicole's legacy, but also on Lynn's personality, and part in the continuous drama involving her family. But ever watchful, Larry made sure his daughter could lead a life of her own, free from the demands of being part of such a visible family. Lynn's life hasn't been without challenges at the same time either. She had to cope with the media coverage, the paternity controversy, and the terrible death of her mother at such a young age. Larry has always been by her side, though, offering the love and consistency she required to get through it. He has put great effort into ensuring she receives affection and encouragement. Larry's approach of raising her reveals exactly how much he regards her well-being. Her childhood might not have been without difficulties, but owing to her dad, she has grown into a confident and content young lady. Danny, Lynn, and Larry have an obvious relationship. Their relationship spans protection, affection, and trust. Notwithstanding all the obstacles that have come their way, Larry has done everything in his ability to give his daughter a consistent, loving upbringing. Though the legacy of her mother has affected Danny Lynn's life, it is evident that her father has made sure she may decide her future. The paternity case. The paternity case involving Danny Lynn Burkhead, the daughter of the late Anna Nicole Smith, is one of the most talked about and written about events in the history of celebrities. Anna Nicole Smith died in February 2007, not long after giving birth to her daughter, Danny Lynn. She left behind more questions than answers. One of the most important questions was who Danny Lynn's father was. As soon as Anna Nicole died, the media went crazy over who the father of her daughter was. Anna Nicole had been tied to many men over the course of her life. Other men were also possible fathers, but the main men in the fight for paternity were Howard K. Stern, Anna Nicole's lawyer and friend, and Larry Burkhead, a photographer. Both men openly said they were Danny Lynn's father, which made the paternity scandal one of the most talked about stories of the year very quickly. Howard K. Stern, Anna Nicole's business partner and close friend for years, was the first person to comment on the paternity scandal. Stern was there for Anna Nicole during some of the hardest times in her life, like when her son Daniel died. He was also there when Danny Lynn was born. Stern became the face of Anna Nicole's estate and took care of her business right after she died because they were very close to her. Stern seemed to have everything going for him at first. His claim that he was the father of Danny Lynn makes sense, since he was close with Anna Nicole. Stern started taking care of Danny Lynn after being named her guardian. People and the media did not fully believe it, though. It was still not clear if Howard K. Stern was really the father or Larry Burkhead. Larry Burkhead, who used to work as a photographer for a gossip magazine, had a short relationship with Anna Nicole Smith before she had Danny Lynn. When Anna Nicole and Stern's short marriage ended, Burkhead did not become involved in her life like Stern did. But Burkhead had fought for a long time to be accepted as Danny Lynn's father because he believed he was her real father. Unlike Stern, he didn't try to get his claim to fame, but Burkhead went to court to prove that he was the father. As the media show around the problem grew, it was clear that Burkhead would not change his mind. He stood in public to show that he was dating Anna Nicole and that he was Danny Lynn's father. During the many months-long paternity battle, men had DNA tests to find out who Danny Lynn's father was. Both Burkhead and Stern tried to convince everyone, including each other, that they were the real father. This caused a lot of legal and mental problems. When more people, like Anna Nicole's family and friends, join in on the issue, it gets even more complicated. But in the end, the truth came out when a blood test in a California lab confirmed that Larry Burkhead was Danny Lynn's real father. The fight over who the father was finally over. Larry Burkhead's life changed a lot after he told everyone what he had done. He went from being a man caught in the media show to being the real father of his daughter. After the paternity test results came back, Larry Burkhead started taking care of Danny Lynn and was fully responsible for her raising. He stepped forward as a loving and steady father, determined to raise Danny Lynn away from the attention she was getting from the public when she was born. Because he had not been able to enjoy privacy, love, and support while in the middle of a paternity battle, Larry was eager to give these things to Danny Lynn. For Danny Lynn's sake, Burkhead and Stern finally agreed on something, despite all the attention from the media. Their relationship had been strained by their big feud and public drama, but over time they were able to come to an agreement that made everyone happy. Larry Burkhead has said more than once that he and Stern were able to stay mostly nice after the paternity dispute was over, even though they had been at odds during the dispute. While Stern was making his claim, he changed the subject and focused on his friendship and business relationship with Anna Nicole Smith. There was always tension between them, but on a basic level, both guys finally found a way to work together for Lynn's sake. People have stopped talking about the paternity story over the years as Lynn grows up and lives a pretty normal life. Larry Burkhead, who is now Emily's main guardian, has given her a sense of safety and privacy that she never had as a baby. He did everything he could to make sure she had a safe and happy childhood and to keep the media away from her. Even though the paternity case was hard, Larry has made sure that Lynn doesn't have to deal with the same kind of public attention as her mother did. Even though the paternity problem may have been hard for Burkhead and Stern, Lynn was able to grow up knowing that her father is here and that he loves and is committed to her. Larry Burkhead's legal victory in showing that he was the father of his daughter was just the start of a long process to make her life better. When it comes to Howard K. Stern, he has less of an impact on Lynn's life and isn't as involved in her growth. What matters most right now is that Larry is here for his daughter and giving her the love and support she needs to do well. Impact of Anna Nicole Smith's death on Lynn. People all over the world were shocked when Anna Nicole Smith died in 2007. Her daughter, Lynn Burkhead, was also deeply affected by her death. Lynn, who was only 5 months old at the time, lost her mother to a drug overdose and was the subject of a lot of public attention. The world mourned the death of the controversial star, but it also looked ahead to what would happen with Lynn. The most important thing was that everyone had one hot question. Who was Lynn's father? There was a lot of news coverage about Lynn's paternity argument. Anna Nicole Smith was linked to other men around the time of her murder, such as Larry Burkhead and Howard K. Stern. Both of these men publicly claimed to be Lynn's father, which made things even more complicated. The news never stopped, not even when the paternity dispute was settled. Lynn was constantly looked at for years as the world watched her grow up because she was obsessed with her connection to her mother's fame, inheritance, and public memory. At such a young age, Lynn was thrown into the chaos and show of famous life, but her father, Larry Burkhead, was there to protect her the whole time. Larry was mostly worried about making sure that the media attention on Lynn's life wouldn't take away from her own. He tried to raise his daughter in a way that would let her have a normal life, away from the flashing lights and attention from the media. From the start, it was clear that he wanted to give Lynn a stable, loving home. He also keeps her safe from the bad things that could happen if she grew up in public. It's impossible to overstate how hard Larry works to keep Lynn out of the spotlight. He put in a lot of work to make sure his daughter wouldn't have the same complicated relationship with fame as her mother did. Larry beat Howard K. Stern in a paternity case, and now he is fully responsible for raising Lynn. He has made it his top goal to keep her grounded ever since. He chose to keep her away from the same constant attention from the public that had been on Anna Nicole. Larry hasn't talked about Anna Nicole's death in many interviews, which makes it clear that he wants her to live as normally as possible. His choice to limit Lynn's media exposure has helped her grow a lot because she doesn't have to deal with constant public pressure. Some might say that putting her in the spotlight of the media show is unfair, but Larry has done everything he can to give his daughter a stable, loving home. He always makes decisions based on his deep love for her and care for her well-being. He wanted her to be able to grow up and be herself without the cameras and the news stories that kept her mother's life in the spotlight. Larry made sure that Lynn's memory is not what she is known for, even though a lot of people are interested in her life. He has done a lot to make sure that Lynn can have a life that is as normal as it can be. To do this, he has avoided public events and reality TV shows that would bring attention to her without needing to. Larry has created a safe space for Lynn to grow without having to worry about being seen by other people. As a child, Lynn lived in a loving home with her father, who took care of her both physically and mentally. As soon as he got Lynn, Larry took on the roles of both mother and father, which has not been easy. but it's clear that Danny Lynn's well-being has been the most important thing for years. So she is a happy and well-adjusted 10-year-old who is learning how to deal with life with her dad's love and support. Danny Lynn is shy, but she has also shown signs of being a typical 10-year-old girl. She really enjoys time with her family, especially her dad and cousin. She also likes new apps like Snapchat, which a lot of kids her age find fun. It's clear that the loving care and attention Larry has given her directly led to her being normal. She may have had a very public start to her life, but now she is growing up with love, respect, and security. At the same time, it's been hard for her to escape media coverage of her family. Larry has tried to keep the public and reporters away from her, but sometimes they show up. Larry knew it would never be easy to grow up with her mother's fame following her around. He has, however, always tried to make things so that Danny Lynn could feel normal. He lets her go to school, hang out with friends, and enjoy life without being watched all the time. Larry Burkhead has been a quiet source of strength and endurance in Danny Lynn's life in many ways. He has dealt with the problems of being a single dad and the attention from the media around his daughter with grace and loyalty. As Anna Nicole's guardian, Larry has been more than just a parent. He has made sure that his daughter doesn't have to go through the emotional and mental pain that Anna Nicole's life had. He has helped her stay grounded and made sure that her childhood is one that she can enjoy without worrying about what other people think of her. With all the fuss over Anna Nicole Smith's death and the paternity case, it's clear that Larry has always loved Danny Lynn. He has not let her suffer because of her mother. Instead, he has done everything he can to give her a sense of calm and love that will help her as she grows up. Through his dedication, Danny Lynn has been able to grow up in a safe environment with her loving family and father by her side. Danny Lynn may never be able to get away from the attention her famous mother gets, but Larry has helped her make her own name for herself. She is a young girl with goals, interests, and her own future. She is not just Anna Nicole's child, and now that she is out of the media circus that was her early life, she will continue to do well with her father by her side. Larry Burkhead's best gift to Danny Lynn is that she has grown up in a loving, safe, and secure house. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Be sure to check out the next video popping up on your screen for more insights into Danny Lynn's journey and the life she's building today.